Good morning. My name is Shane. I'm going to show you how we deal with waste. And this is our kitchen. You're coming in here. And we designed this island unit, and about 1/3 of it takes on drawers that address waste. And we have the garbage waste being dealt with here. We have another type that used to be waste that's here. And then we have recycling here. We find that if you go for smaller containers, you may be changing them every day, but it's a better way of dealing with waste, so you're not keeping it in the house too long. We also use recycling bags, etc., and we put that beside the waste, so it's very easy to get people to be changing this all the time. And we use a very standard waste collector because there are many times when these things have to be replaced. So what we have here is what was a bigger waste container, but we found that we didn't need it in the end. And instead we just diligently empty this every day. And we put that into the compost. And it's useful to have it as something that you can carry around, because often we're preparing vegetables here, here, or here, and therefore you can clean it up much quicker if you have a box like that. We create one of these at least every 2 days. And so that goes out into the compost in the garden. We make about 1 cubic meter of soil every year. But with the advent of the guinea pigs, we're now making more soil than that.
I'm ready.
So these are the guinea pigs. They create an awful lot of waste. We didn't realize that until our daughter brought guinea pigs back from university. And it's mostly wood chips. And we were putting the wood chips into the compost up until last week. We had quite a lot of it going there, but the volume of it is just so enormous. So we don't really know what we're going to do with that. But one has to be aware of how one's going to deal with this. We don't get newspapers much anymore, so we don't have that use of newspaper for pets. I don't think there's... Okay, so we store our waste out here. Sometimes we store it in there if we got snowy weather, but I prefer here because, well, the waste tends to include animals going through the stuff, so I don't want to attract them inside. But we divide into paper and into plastics, but we also have our waste in here. I can slide down here. And we keep our waste in here, and then we have our garbage here. And that makes it easier to then go away. We also have community gardens, and we have a large lot there for making food. The important thing about growing locally is really that you're trying to get food fresh. And of course, if you're doing fresh food, you're not getting any of the bags and all the other things. You're just cutting down to basically the vegetables. And these growing areas are right beside the compost, which is over here. The compost has reached a certain saturation level at the moment, so I won't show it to you. But the compost can get too full at certain stages. With ours, it got full suddenly with the introduction of these guinea pigs. And I think that with the compost, it's important to have it beside the gardens, so that as you empty the compost every year, you're putting it into the soil. We've added probably about 16 cubic meters of soil over the past 10 years, 12 years in this area. So we've really got quite a lot of new soil into this area. So just on the last thing, we can the food from our garden, both the community garden and the food garden in our house. And generally we package the food in these glass jars, and we have sufficient that will last for a particular year till the next season comes in. The only point that I'm trying to get at is that we use all these different types of jar types, and some of these jars have been used for up to 15 years, 10, 15 years, because the glass jars don't wear out. It's just the tops that wear out.